Hello y'all, welcome to Tism Pump YouTube, where I talk about my experiences with mental health, addiction, autism, and becoming a baby bodybuilder.
I'ma keep winning. I'ma keep winning. I'ma keep winning. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself.
Today we're doing something a little different. I've gotten on I'm gonna turn on my air conditioning one sec. For my little fan moment. Also not the missing nail. I've been getting, I guess, like a tattoo tour request. Also, I'm very fed right now, so like don't at me. But anyway, I've been getting like a tattoo tour request. So I'm gonna talk to you about some of my tattoos and what they mean. That's why I'm literally wearing this, so you can see my tattoos. So yeah, let's fucking get into it, bitch. So my first tattoo actually was this one right here. And here's the little story behind it. So it's a 31 in Roman numerals, and I'm born on March 31st, and my friend at the time said to me, I'll pay for you to get a 31 tattooed on your body if whenever someone asks you why you got it, you have to say, I was getting a tattoo done, I asked for a 13, but they drew a 31. Which is actually the lyrics to Pretty Fly for a White Guy by The Offspring. And I didn't know that, and really, I didn't even hear the song until like years later. But anyway, that was my first tattoo, I think. My second tattoo, I think, was this one right here. And it says there's always a cure. And it kind of goes in line with this one here, which says cured too, and that has my sober date on it. But when I started my clothing company and it was called Cured, the tagline was, there's always a cure. And I got it when I was still in rehab for the fourth time, which was when I actually like fully got sober. And I remember like leaving and then getting the tattoo and coming back, and this guy was like, you know, there's no cure for addiction, right? And I was like, Anyway, it's just interesting because I think like I firmly believe that, and I understand that there's not a cure for everything. Like, I mean, there's obviously no fucking cure for cancer, but the cure, I guess, lies within your ability to kind of make the best of situations and like do the best with what you have and like stay positive. Well, it's hard to stay positive sometimes, girly pop, but like, you know, there's no cure for fucking autism, there's no cure for depression and like mental illness, and like, but we're still here, bitch. So obviously I'm doing something right, I guess. I don't know. Back to this one here. I got this when I hit 5 years sober, so that was like my 5 year sober thing. I think this was my third tattoo. It says paint, and there's a Harry Potter Deathly Hallows symbol in it, because I like art, and you guys don't know this about me, but I used to paint a lot and do graffiti a lot. So it was really important to me, which brings me to my tattoo. Is it? Okay. I don't know how to show this. It says, oh gosh, can you see it? It says, till death do we art. And then the other one says fucking crybaby. I don't know if you can see it, which is like, you know. Yeah, the crybaby one, I was like, that's cute, whatever. I think I saw it on Pinterest. A lot of these are Pinterest tattoos that have no fucking meaning behind them. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of my tattoos are really stupid. Like, for example, I got send it. Can you see? Send it tattooed on my hand, which I think is like a Nelk Boys reference. I didn't know that at the time. It was just something that everybody was saying, and then I started saying it, and I was like, that's hilarious. If we're going like Harry Potter tattoos, this is so fucking ADHD. This is like technically like a dark mark. That's what that is. And then on my back here, down the back, it says Expecto Patronum, which is a spell to get rid of the Dementors, which is kind of like a depression, sadness thing, moment. And then a lot of the stuff on my arm is dedicated to my mom. So like, so her and I have this matching tattoo here. We also have a bee that's matching because my grandma's name, her mom was named Beatrice, so we have that matching. And then we also have this little snake matching, and then we have this tattoo, which I kind of like hate how it looks, but I like the lines on it. So that's like her mom, that's my mom, and then that's me. This is the chemical compound for serotonin, I believe. A fucking dumbass tattoo who was done by a fucking asshole. Who also did this tattoo, which my friend ended up reworking. And basically when he was doing this tattoo, this is not the color it was originally. He didn't listen to me for the colors that I wanted it. And he kind of, not like, I wouldn't say sexually assaulted me, but like the vibes were weird when I got that tattoo. Like, so usually like if you're being like tattooed in like a room, they don't like close the door unless like you ask them to, or it's something like where, you know, I got my boobs tattooed and like they closed the door because it was like a, you know, an area like that. And I went in, and at this point, I had been, sorry, I'm just dissociating. Anyway, I walked in and I had just gotten this tattoo here like a couple months before that, right? And that tattoo, when I got it, my friend Serena did it, and I was in my shorts at the time. And he did this tattoo, and he did like the leaves and stuff, but he still needed to color the flower. So I went in to get it recolored, like, or to get it colored. And I walked in and he closed the door and he was like, "Hey girl, oh, how's that tattoo doing?" And at that point I was going like every 2 weeks and just like deciding what I wanted when I got there. And I had showed him like, oh, you know, whatever tattoo it was, like something on my arm. He was like, "No, the one on your leg, like take off your pants, girl, let me see it." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, and this guy was like really aggressive. He ended up getting fired because like I wasn't the only one that he like did this to. But he was like, "Yeah, take off your pants. I've seen you in your underwear, girl." And I was like, no, you haven't. But it was like, it was one of those situations, if you're a woman and you're watching this, you know, where like if you've ever been raped, sometimes it's easier to take than it is to try to fight people off. This was not like that, but like, it's just like, anyway, sorry, I'm dissociating. But anyway, he was like, so he like inspects it and like touches like, here, I'm gonna move this, touches like here on my thigh, and he's like, "Oh, interesting, no, and he's like touching here, and I was like, is that really necessary? And then at the end, like I was lying down like this, like getting my tattoo done, like my arm here, and then he like slaps me right here, like on my ass thigh, like right near my vagina. And I was like, I was so upset. And at that point I was going in for tattoos like at least every 2 weeks. And then I had like messaged the owner and I was like, "Hey, is this guy working?" And they were like, "No." And I was like, or I don't know, like this, I don't remember specifically, but I was like, "Oh, is he working?" And they were like, "Oh, why?" And I was like, "Nothing, I just don't want to like be there when he's there." And then they asked me what happened, and they were like, "Listen, we know you, like you're fucking crying on the phone, like what the fuck happened?" And then I told them, and then they fired him. He was like not nice. Everybody in the shop actually had a problem with him, so it was good. Anyway, there are two tattoos that I got after reading this book. One sec. I read this book a couple times. I really don't like fiction. And the thing is like, this is a self-help book that was kind of like written as a fiction. It would have been better as nonfiction. But anyway, two things that I got from it that I really like are Kaizen, which I got there, and that's The Japanese art of continuous self-improvement, from what I remember. And then also this, which says her mind is a lush landscape of potential and possibility. Slay. And then, so also, okay, there's so many fucking tattoos, bitch. This video is gonna be longer than I thought, I think. So this originally was just a crown, and then I got this and this matching with my friend, who's no longer my friend, whatever. But originally, like, I got, so like I was like pretty like, not heavily tattooed, but like tattooed enough. And my ex-boyfriend was like, oh, we should get matching king and queen tattoos. And I was like, sure, like if you want to pay for it, like why not? But he didn't have any tattoos. Like it was gonna be his first tattoo, and I was like, listen, to me, like it's just like it's another thing. Like I don't give a fuck if we break up. Like, and I have it. Like it's whatever to me. But like to you, it, you know, it might be different. And he was like, oh no, like I'm down. So we get these fucking tattoos, and then he shows them to his friend like a couple days later, and he's like, oh, what's that? He's like, oh, it's the Budweiser crown. I was like, be fucking for real, Matt. Anyway. That was very cutesy and annoying of him. This, another like cure thing, and then another 2013, because that was like my sober year. This was like one of the first, this was the first finger tat I ever got. It's a semicolon for like mental health. It's my fuck you to mental health. Oh, and then for my mom, like this, so like I have mom here, and then we got like matching tattoos. And then it says here, stay where I am and be your little bunny, which is a quote from The Runaway Bunny, which is a book that my mom used to read to me when I was a kid. And then here, I think the poem is called Walking into a Snowy Wood. I don't know, it's a Robert Frost poem. My mom read it at her mom's funeral. It was my grandma's favorite poem. And basically it was like, not me getting emotional right now. Anyway, it resonated a lot with me. I'll read it to you. So it says, the woods are lovely, dark and deep, and I have promises to keep and mouths to go before I sleep. And then the last line is, and mouths to go before I sleep, twice. But I didn't have enough room. So anyway, it's there. But it's, to me, it's kind of like about depression, where it's like ending your life is, it's really, really tempting sometimes when you deal with things that are really hard, but like there's so much more to be done in life. So yeah. And then I have this, I think it's like the Virgin Mary. I don't really know. This girl I know did it, and her tattoos are all really fucking cool. And I was just like, that looks cool. Like religious imagery looks cool. And that's why I have that. I got like a pizza skull and a skull popsicle because I was like, that looks cool. What the fuck? Oh, Helvetica. This is my favorite font. It's in Helvetica Bold. I was just like, it's a great font. I don't know. And then this is a match, because my friend wanted to get matching tattoos. We're no longer friends, but anyway, shout out to you, Victoria, Miss Girl. And then we also got this matching tattoo together, which says stay weird. There's some just little flowers. I have a lot of floral shit, honestly, floral shit and like skulls, because I think they look cute. There's not really any like meaning to them. Not really. And then this is like, I guess my biggest tattoo. It's like magnolias and blackberries. Sometimes people think it's raspberries, but it's blackberries, bitch. And my friend Serena did that one. And it has magnolias because when I was growing up, one of the houses that my mom and I lived in was on 7 Seneca Street, and it had the largest magnolia tree in all of Ottawa. And like I grew up with like a magnolia tree, and it was really pretty. And then I also have a magnolia flower on my, what is this? A shin with like a cat. It was supposed to be a Sphinx cat. It doesn't really look like a Sphinx cat very much. So sometimes some people are like, oh, is that your dead cat Bean? And I'm like, sure, whatever. Open to interpretation, you know? And then on the back, what do I have tattooed on my back? Oh, there's a tiger, right? Yeah, there's a tiger. Because I was like, that looks cool. I remember when I was getting tattooed, I was like, It was one of my most painful tattoos. It was when I was living in Ecuador and I was getting it tattooed and my mom was there. She was like rubbing my hair and I was like saying to myself, I was like, only bad bitches get tattoos of tigers on their fucking backs, bitch. And it was an hour long. This man was fucking drilling the shit out of me. And it was so fucking painful. Oof. Not a cute time. Not the fucking vibe. Not even a little bit. What other tattoos do I have? Oh, if we're talking about matching tattoos with exes. Oh, not matching. This wasn't matching, but like, sorry, someone's in the hallway. Tattoos. So like, I got a B for my ex-boyfriend named Byron. Shout out to you, Byron, if you're watching this. And then it says honey, sweetie, baby, because he called me that like once or twice. And I was like, that's so cute. I'm gonna get it tattooed because I'm an idiot. Yeah, because I'm literally stupid. Oh, if we're talking about really dumb tattoos, right here. So this, if you're wondering what it means, no, it's not something cute like persistence or determination. I was like, why would I not get the worst Office episode in history, Scott's Tots, tattooed in Mandarin on my neck? And that's what that means. So if you're like, oh my God, what are the meanings to your tattoos? I bet you have so many tattoos. I bet they mean so much. No, they don't. And another really stupid tattoo that I got that I love is like right here, it says GRLPWR. I thought it was hilarious because I was like, oh, for when I'm not gonna say this, but anyway, but I was like, oh, it makes me feel like a powerful girly. It doesn't. I just think it's really funny. A lot of the things that I get, I have them because I think that they just look cool or they're funny. There's not a lot of meaning attached to things. Sometimes I forget. I know there's an elephant on my back. It doesn't mean anything. My ex just bought it for me. Oh, this. Here, I'll tell you the story of this here tattoo. It's a leopard. When I first moved to Mexico, I matched with this guy on Tinder who was a tattoo artist. And basically he was like, come to my studio, I'll tattoo you. And I was like, lit. So this was like literally like a week, maybe just like a couple days of me moving to Mexico. And I went there and he tattooed me. It was my longest tattoo. I was sitting for like 5.5 hours. And the only way I was able to sit through it is I was watching like pimple popping and hair extraction videos. And when I get tattooed, I like to redirect pain. So I'll like take my nails and like dig them into parts of my body. So by the time I was done, I had like these permanent fucking claw marks on my fucking hands for days. A lot of it is just like, cause I thought it looked cool. Or it was really funny. I don't know, I think that's it. Where do I have other tattoos? Let's see. I mean, that's kind of it, like, right? I don't know. I think that's it. I don't know, the video today was a little bit shorter because the thing is I keep getting friggin' requests for like tattoo meaning or tattoo like reveal tattoo explanation videos. So I was like, I'll give y'all what y'all want and I'll give you a tattoo tour. So this was the tattoo tour, y'all. And this is Pork Chop. In case you didn't know, this man, look at him, he's a sweet boy. Anyway, if you made it to the end of this video, as always, thank you so much for staying. What's on there? You're a hairy boy. You're a hairy boy. Anyway, if you are here still and you got to the end of this video, thank you. If you want to smash the like or subscribe button, like do it, I guess. I have no control over you, so like if you don't want to, don't. If you liked something, if you hated it, comment, let me know. Almost dropped this boy. There you go, Bubba. Yeah, I think that's it for this week, y'all. If you like the more like mental health content, I started a podcast. It's called 10 Years in Bed, and it's on here, but it's also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify if you want to hear it. I think that's it. I think this is the video. Yeah. So I don't really know what we're gonna be doing for next week, because it's like Christmas season. I don't really know, I'm not too sure. If you have any like preferences or things you want me to do, DM me on Instagram or TikTok. It's at Tism Pump, or you can like comment here or message me on here, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I hope everybody has a lit fucking day, and I'll see y'all next Monday. Every Monday video drops 7 p.m. EST, and then the podcast is on Friday morning on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, 8 a.m. EST. Anyway, I hope everybody has a lit fucking day. I love y'all. Thank you for watching, and YouTube done. Slay.